Welcome, everyone, to episode 45 of the Cosby Reads. Yay. How's everybody doing tonight?
We are deep into the middle age right now. 45. Oh, man.
45. Yeah, man. We're getting old.
Yes,
I just
sir.
sent you guys a text. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's from Facebook, where it's an April Fool's joke, obviously. But attention, the first official live-action Mistborn movie has been made, a first official casting. Vin Diesel will be playing Vin since he
Now,
doesn't
my
have to change
Lord,
his name.
this is the worst Photoshop picture I think I've ever seen.
Family.
It's all about family.
That's now my headcanon is Vin Diesel is Vin.
Right. Insane.
Vin in Mistborn's last name is Diesel because,
There you go.
she could be. I mean, she's kind of, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Cool. Couple announcements. Let's see. Tomorrow night, if you guys are into the Wheel Time or not, come join the Wheel Reads. We're having a big episode tomorrow night at 9:00, so it's going to be a lot of fun here on this channel. It is our 200th episode.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And it's probably some of the most boring chapters in the entire series. So we're just going to have chaos and drunkenness for a couple hours.
I'm in.
So it's going to be fun. And probably not really much talked about the books. Sorry if you're actually here for if you want to come for real-time content. It might happen in passing. We'll see. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Because it is my birthday tomorrow too, so that's
happy birthday, dude!
You know, by creating podcasts, I can make the 200th episode land on my birthday. Actually, it just worked out though.
Nice.
It's my little birthday present to myself. Yeah, because I'm all by myself. Yeah, wife and kids are out of town, so I am all by myself. Actually, because it's spring break and I still have to work. Because I take off for other things besides my birthday and I don't really care about it. So, yeah, they left. They went out of town to the spring break thing, and I'm here by myself drinking and hanging out with you guys. So, cheers.
Very good. Man, if I had known that, we should have coordinated. I could have come over to your spot and recorded over there.
Oh, yeah, you could have, I guess, yeah.
Didn't even think about it, so...
I didn't think about it either. Yeah, I mean, before this, I was just doing my taxes, so it's not like it would have been really... I mean, you would have just made me procrastinate more on that, so... Could be a good thing, bad thing. I don't know.
Right.
Eventually get those done. All right. Anything for the good of the cause before we jump right into these chapters?
It's a good thing you weren't born on the 1st, because then you'd be an April Fool yourself.
Yeah.
One of my close friends is born on April 1st. I always remember it. So I reached out to him and I was like, "Oh man, happy birthday to you." Starting to get joked.
I'm not sure. So every year, this is another thing too. I'm not sure. I have no idea what they're playing this year, and part of me hopes they don't play anything, and a part of me is just expecting it. But my brothers, every single year for my birthday, this is an ongoing thing, and it gets bigger and bigger every single year. So because it's spring break normally, my brother goes down to Florida to go to Disney World with his daughter every single year, and my other brother lives in Tampa, so they go to Disney World together on my birthday every year without me. And then they do something to kind of like, they made t-shirts one year with my face on it. And then like last year it was Star Wars themed. So they made like a Jedi bobblehead with my face on it, and like a bunch of, like they do a bunch of stuff. And it's always this big elaborate, bring Alan's birthday to Disney without Alan actually being there. So, and it keeps on getting bigger and bigger each year. And they are in Florida right now together. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what my birthday party that I'm not going to be attending will be this year.
I got a lot of questions. I'm not going to ask them right now, though.
It's fun. It's hilarious.
Harsh brotherly love.
It's a very harsh brotherly love.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
I never get invited to my own birthday party at Disney. They go every year. It has now become a thing. I wouldn't even accept the invite if I actually got invited, because it's like it's now a thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's like, people right now at Disney just wondering if you actually exist.
Pretty much. I think the first year they thought I had died, and they were like celebrating.
Yep, that's what I was just thinking.
My death posthumously, because they had like a little picture of me, and they brought it to the dinner, and they had a bunch of stuff up for them because they thought they were like grieving and mourning their brother, and they brought me on roller coaster rides. The picture of me, there's a bunch of Um,
Oh no.
it's elaborate. It's fun. I've not heard anything this year though, so
Mm-mm.
we'll see. But
But they do bring you stuff back at least. I mean, so
I had the bobblehead somewhere in the other room, my little Jedi bobblehead.
there you go.
But yeah, they usually bring me back something. It's
Cool.
fun. Anyway, with that being said, I guess I'll share that tomorrow night if they do something when we're live. So looking forward to it. So you guys ready for part 5? Trust. It's
Sure.
not hope. It's trust.
Oh Lord, have mercy! If I had to hear the word hope one more time,
It was mentioned in these chapters, and
There is some hope
and it was
sprinkled
mentioned in
in.
the last set of chapters too. So I was like, hope,
hope.
Here we go.
Here we go. Chapter 59. I do not know what went on in the minds of Kolos, what memories they retain, what human emotions they truly still knew. I do know that our discovery of the one creature who named himself human was tremendously fortunate. Without his struggle to become human again, we might never have understood the link between the Kolos, Hemalurgy, and the Inquisitors. Of course, there was another part of him to play. Granted, not large, but still important, all things considered.
NPR.
Is that my NPR voice?
That's right. That's right.
All things considered. Yeah.
All things considered.
On
that's
all
right.
things considered.
I'm R. Shapiro.
Yeah, this is all things considered.
Yeah.
We gotta talk softly to the mic. This is
Oh, yeah, that's right.
all things considered on NPR.
People really like my chocolate salty balls.
Any thoughts about besides NPR? All things considered.
So I'm gonna. By the way, kind of, and I know it's pretty much a spoiler since the beginning of the book. And it was asked about who does the epigraphs. And I've been trying to be like vague about it, but the guy reads it in the voice of who's supposedly saying it. So I've been purposely vague every time and not like really try to, because I have that information that other people don't.
That are reading it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say don't listen to the audiobook on this one and read it, but
yeah, because unfortunately that part is kind of spoiled for you from the beginning.
It is, and a little bit. Yeah. But still the dots are not there. So
right.
Anyway, we won't spill it for Will.
Well,
that's because I'm not saying.
I mean, I have an idea of who it is.
Okay.
From this one.
Okay.
But I'm not going to tell it because I don't want to spoil it for you guys.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we're with my boy Tensoon.
Your boy.
Who Londo was warming up to.
I had a moment. I had a moment 2 episodes ago. I warmed up enough that I might have not stomped him into the ground.
Yeah.
I might have just kicked him in the shin, but
yeah. So Tensoon reaches Orto and finds he just gets there and like everything. It looks like Detroit in the early 90s, like just a like war zone, like burnt out buildings. Everything's burned to the ground. It's pretty much destroyed. He's like, what happened here? He's like, but the canals are flowing again, at least.
Well, I had the vision of Whoville after the Grinch steals all the presents. He's like, but they're happy. 1/3 of their city's burned down, and they're out there like, oh, they're like all happy. And he's like, I guess you'd be happy if 2/3 of it was actually saved.
Yeah,
that's all I could think of was Whoville.
Yeah, and you learned that Tensoon's been there a few times before when he was working for Straff. He had to sit there.
Right,
times,
right.
so.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he'd been there. So he goes to try to find Vin. So he goes and spots some guards by the ministry building, which he's a little kind of bizarre why they're at the ministry building. He's like, whatever. Walks up to the guards, and the guards are like, yeah, dogs aren't allowed here. Get out, scram.
He's like, whose dog is this?
Yeah, whose dog is this? He's like, yo, I need to talk to Vin. It's like the guy's like, what?
I love the gravelly voice though. Even though I don't like Tensoon, I like the gravelly voice he does when he's the dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good audio book thing.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And the soldiers are taken back. He's like, I hear for a message. I need to give to Vin or whatever. And they're like, our messenger from Elland. I need to speak to your city's leaders, is what he says.
Right.
And they let him in because it's a talking dog. And what else are you supposed to do when a dog talks to you?
Well, you obey it, obviously. It's Son of Sam, right? You know, you got to obey it.
You got to obey it. That's he killed all those people because the dog told him to.
That's where the murders come in.
Yeah, the dog told him to.
That's right.
If you don't know the reference, Son of Sam was a serial killer in the 60s who, when he was caught, said that the next door neighbor's dog told him to do all the murders.
Instructed him. Yes.
Instructed him to do all the murders. Yeah. So he goes in and finds my dear boy Breeze. And,
your boy Breeze.
My boy Breeze.
Yes.
Pull up my dueling cane.
Oh, by the way, is that this chapter or was that last chapters? No, it was last chapters when whatchamacall, Lester Borges had 2 dueling canes.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of pimp is this?
Double pimp canes, man.
Double pimp canes.
Yeah. So
this guy.
Yeah. So he finds Breeze in charge, who Osir's like, Breeze, I'd never liked that guy too much.
Yeah.
And of course, Breeze is drinking, and
but he's, and I get why he doesn't like Breeze.
Yeah.
Because he knows he should be fearful of Breeze because he's the one that could,
control
take
him.
Over.
Mm-hmm.
Take him over. But then he has to remind himself, he's like, oh yeah, that's right. They're not as, strong now as they were back in the day.
Yeah.
So.
And Breeze immediately, oh, so you're Kandra. Clever for Vin to make the dog a Kandra. How long has the dog been a Kandra? And he's like, the whole time. He's like, good job, Osir. He's like, actually, Tensoon.
Man, it was triggering for me.
Different Kandra, but I'm here. Comments about him drinking on the job. He's like, if I'm gonna run this city, gotta run it my way. So gotta get a drink on the job.
Right. Yeah.
He starts asking some questions and starts talking. He's like, I got a message to deliver. He's like, it's more Sazen's alley, not really mine. Let's go talk to Saze. And you learn right away that Spook's alive. So
right.
Yeah. So where you thought a lot of people think he dies in the end of part 4, and then like literally 2 chapters in, it's like 2 paragraphs in, it's like Spook lives.
I mean, it's like it's a cliffhanger, but it's not much delayed gratification of finding out whether he's alive or not.
Exactly. So they go and Saze is talking about how explains that Vin's in Frederick City. And Tensoon's pretty upset about that because it's actually pretty far from Oto. He's like, damn it, I need to talk to her. And then, ask, I guess, what's the question he asked about religion? And Seiza kind of just blows it off. And he's like, I expected more about that. And Seiza asks Tensoon why he wants to see Vin. He replies that it has to do with the Hero of Ages and the end of the world.
Right.
And Tensoon's trying to puzzle together the lack of Seiza's reaction. So just need a dueling cane, man. I always wanted to cosplay Breeze, Thatcher says. Just need to get dueling cane. And say my dear sir a lot.
Oh yeah, my dear sir. And constantly have a drink in your hand. Kind of like my band from what's that show on Netflix where it's the something boys, the Canadian dudes, and they're like always. Oh my gosh!
Trailer Park Boys.
There you go. Yeah. You got to be that one guy who always says rum and coke. Julian.
Yeah.
He always says rum and coke in his hand. I feel like that's Breeze. Breeze has just always got a drink. He just always kind of.
The dude always has his White Russian.
White Russian. Yep.
Yeah.
The dude. Yes,
the dude.
Yes.
The Big
Lebowski. Fun cosplays. Just get really drunk the whole time.
Yeah,
the dude abides.
I've cosplayed as the dude before back when I was in college, and it's that is a fantastic cosplay. You just get a dirty robe, grow your hair out, and just get drunk.
That hard, is it? I mean, Yeah. Okay.
It's not hard. It's not a hard one to pull
Yeah.
off. Just
Yeah.
the dude abides.
Mm-hmm. Just have an affected like little accent and whatever, and you're good to go,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
a like a surfer boy kind of accent.
This isn't Nom, Donnie. I can quote Big Lebowski all night long. All right. So.
How did that movie become such a cult classic though? It's weird the stuff that becomes cult classics.
Yeah, it's a great little movie.
That one
I
don't get. How did it just become just? It must have been something where it was just showing up. It was like all the other cult classics, right? They just put it on cable enough on a loop because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And then people were just like, I saw it all the time, and it became a cult classic, like a Christmas Story.
It's like Ted Turner on TNT, Turner, and a bunch of other stuff, and just liked movies and just would push it out to us and make us like his movies.
Right.
That's probably.
Well, yeah, because they get that stuff on the cheap, and they're like, well, just play it on a loop.
Play it on loop over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So thoughts about this whole initial conversation, not the later one, but because we get to that a couple chapters later. But I guess this whole interaction, Tinsoon, Breeze, Sazed, any thoughts about all this?
I mean, it's interesting that Tinsoon, thought about how thought about how Sazed was like really like disconnected from religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like so off-putting that Tinsoon said something about it. He's like, "Oh, what's up with you?" He's like, "What happened to you and all this religious research and analysis and passion you had? It's like it's just gone from you, huh?" Okay. Yeah. So thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Sazed's still slightly emo Sazed.
Oh yeah.
He's gotten better. He's gotten better, but
yes.
He's still doing the finger snaps and hair flips.
That's right. Poor Sazed. Yeah.
Just blasting dashboard confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
And, any thoughts, Will, for you or on emo Sazed?
We were blasting middle school emo music the whole way home from Delaware yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. No, I just thought it was funny that Breeze is like sitting at the table, like at the throne, like.
It's a perfect spot for Breeze.
Well, yeah, and like all these people are coming in, like he's kind of like the new like leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm imagining all these like townsfolk coming in and like, coming to him with complaints or whatever. And he's just sitting there drinking and like soothing all these people like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the perfect guy for that.
Breeze is in his element.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Breeze. So anything from all this? There's a short chapter before we move to chapter 60. You ready?
Not me.
Okay.
No, I didn't have anything else. I thought there was more to that chapter, but I guess it was a short chapter.
No, this is a really short. Yeah, 59 short. They get longer as we move further on. But so chapter 60. The prison preservation created for ruin was not created out of preservation's power, though it was preservation. Rather, preservation sacrificed his consciousness, one could say his mind, to fabricate that prison. He left a shadow of himself, but ruin, once escaped, began to suffocate and isolate this small remnant vestige of his rival. I wonder if Ruin ever thought it strange that preservation had cut himself off from his own power, relinquishing it and leaving it in the world, to be gathered and used by men. In preservation's gambit, I see nobility, cleverness, and desperation. He knew that he could not defeat Ruin. He had given too much of himself, and beyond that, he was the embodiment of stasis and stability. He could not destroy, not even to protect. It was against his nature, hence the prison. Mankind, however, had been created by both ruin and preservation, with a hint of preservation's own soul to give them the sentience and honor. In order for the world to survive, preservation knew he had to depend on his creations, to give them his trust. I wonder what he thought when those creatures repeatedly failed him.
I didn't have much to take away.
I mean, it seems like from the get-go, preservation's always been in a losing battle.
Yeah.
Depending on his creations and whether or not.
I think preservation gave a lot for mankind. And if he had not, he would have been on equal footing with ruin. But I guess mankind was his baby, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so maybe not a losing battle, but he lost control and gave some of his control. It was a very like noble, humble act. He gave his control
Sure.
and his trust to humankind. So
Right.
now it's all up to them.
And then broke the pact with ruin, which is why ruin then went after to kill preservation. Backstabbing gods.
Yeah, and then preservation not being able to kill ruin because preservation by its nature can't destroy.
It just preserves.
Yeah.
Yep. All he could do was imprison him. And that broke the pact because they had a pact together to create, destroy together. And he stopped the destruction cycle. So Ruin's like, all bets are off. Yeah. Talked about that last episode.
Is this foreshadowing? Are the creations going to defeat Ruin?
Maybe. How do you think Ruin's going to die? Because Ruin seems like he's pretty much unstoppable at this point.
He's going to overeat. He's just going to eat a bunch of 7-Eleven hot dogs and Slurpees.
I feel like crap.
The crusty hot dogs. The ones that have been sitting in the hot dog warmer too long.
With the nasty nacho cheese.
Oh, it's so gross.
He's going to eat a hot dog that actually crunches. That's how old a hot dog is.
The bun's a little stale. It's not even it's not
most
soft
definitely.
anymore. It's a little
It crumbles. Yes,
crumbles.
yes.
Yeah.
It's been on the rollers too long.
No, I'm waiting for the architect to come in and be like, "We've remade the Matrix 13 times. This is the time as one man, one woman's chosen." Blah blah blah. I'm like, whatever.
So Vin is in prison, and she decides time's time. Let's get out of here. And she goes to try to, I guess it's almost like a mock escape. I guess she talks about that. Like, there's no way she could take all these guards. Like, they're haze killers. You know, she talks about like how there's no metal that was allomantic at all. There's some silver screws and things like that. But she took those out because she used them as a feint later.
What are the not shackles, but whatever the handcuffs things? What are they made out of?
Either silver or maybe aluminum. I mean, because
I feel
aluminum,
like they didn't say what it was, but they give the illusion that it was metal because it was metal because it cut her.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few. I mean, so like lead and silver are not allomantic at all.
Right.
They mentioned those. I mean, aluminum is allomantic, but if you burn it, it just gets rid of all your metals. So that's another one that you could use.
I guess, right. The opposite of duralumin, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to burn aluminum, so it'd be useless to an allomancer. Aluminum would, because
but aluminum though is very pliable. So it probably wouldn't be good for restraining somebody.
Yeah. Neither would lead. Lead's
lead's not gonna work either.
Yeah, lead's very pliable, very easy to bend, but very, very heavy. I mean, you just pack lead on someone. Silver's very brittle. I don't know what other metals are out there that it could be.
Common metals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know everything. I mean, because a lot of stuff they talk about derivatives of other combinations in like alloys. So it gets a little tough to come up with other metal combinations unless you start getting into obscure stuff. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you get like I don't know, I'm trying to think. Platinum. What's some other ones? But those are like precious metals.
I mean, I was thinking titanium.
Titanium,
would be the one that you really, if it was available.
Oh, yeah.
But they haven't talked about it yet, so I don't know if that's like a metal that has other
titanium.
I don't know. I mean, that would be the one.
Titanium. What'd you say?
Would zinc count?
Zinc is one of the allomantic metals.
Oh, that's right. It's one of the metals that they burn. Yeah.
Yeah. Zinc is for writing.
It's for what?
To riot people's emotions.
Oh, riot. It's the flip of okay, got it.
It's the flip of bronze. Brass.
Right.
Brass.
Got it. That's right. Zinc is the other version of that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that.
So zinc would be allomantic. Yeah, I don't know. No one in chat saying anything either, but yeah. So,
Yeah, so I would say platinum or titanium. It's probably the two that would really be effective if you wanted to use
platinum.
it for like
Titanium, cobalt, or what's the other one? That people make rings out of all the time.
manganese or magnesium.
No, people have rings. They always they do wedding rings, wedding bands.
Is it dark colored?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, graphite.
No,
Okay,
but their graphite's one. I'm trying to think. It's a heavier metal,
heavier metal.
very strong, but brittle, but very strong.
Brittle strong. We'll remember it later. It's gonna like
Starts with a T.
Titanium? Did you already
No.
say that?
Yeah, I
it's not
did.
titanium.
Tungsten?
Tungsten.
Tungsten.
That's
There
it.
it is.
Tungsten.
You got it.
There it is. Tungsten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be tungsten. I don't know. we're just gonna name metals all night
I thought
long.
tungsten was one of the. I thought you could burn tungsten. I don't know why. I feel like that was one of the
I don't
ones.
think tungsten's ever been mentioned.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What am I confusing that with? I feel like that's like memorable for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh well.
There's the whole theory that the United States has tungsten things, weapons in space. Have you heard the Pillars of Heaven?
The Pillars of Heaven. What is
Oh,
that?
the rods from God. That's what they're called. Yeah, the rods from God.
No.
The military says they never built it, but they had a paper where they said they could put tungsten in space, and because tungsten has such a high burning point, it would survive going through re-entry.
Oh.
So you could just drop a pillar on a country, and there'd be no rocket signature. There'd be nothing, and you could just kinetic energy. Boom.
Oh shoot! You take something with enough speed and mass, and it's as powerful as a nuclear weapon easily. I mean, it's devastating. So
yeah, you need to go look at the periodic table. Yeah, onyx is a mineral.
We have a periodic table on our shower curtain.
Pillars of Heaven is a Terry Goodkind book. Laugh out loud. Okay, well, Rods of God is what it's called for the U.S. military. You can look it up, Google it. Apparently, they never made them.
I was waiting for the air quotes on that one. I was like, come on.
Yeah. At least they tell us they never made them.
Right. They made like a 2-foot version, and they were like, it blew up like the part of a town, and they were like, oh,
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, so she texts the guards, they retrieve her, bring her to Yeoman. She actually downs 4 of the guards in the process, which is pretty for not having any medals. Oh, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
She actually made did some damage in her like little coup or attempt to escape.
Yep.
Knocked a couple people out, got pretty close to what's his name, Human, but she did not. I mean, she knew he had adium. I don't understand that part though. That part,
I don't know either.
I mean, I know he's wearing it like around his like, is it around his head like a little?
Yeah, he's like wearing like a little gem, like a
yeah. So I mean, I don't know why she even thought that. I don't know what the play was. So that part of it didn't.
I don't know either. She's gonna try to snatch it, but if he's burning ATM, there's no way you can.
Right, he's gonna be like 2 steps ahead of you. So
well, I kind of know maybe, but that gets kind of revealed in a later.
Right. I mean, it comes
maybe.
up like even later in this.
Yeah, in the section, another chapter.
Yeah.
So, so she's like, let's see, she's brought to Yeoman. They shackle her to a bench, but she had secretly rubbed some grease or food on her hands and wrists, so she's able to actually escape from the shackles, and that's when she grabs her handful of silver screws and throws them at the guards.
That thing is hilarious. I literally laughed out loud when she just threw these like 4 like inert screws, and they're like, ah!
And then nothing happens.
I laughed. I was like, "This is good," because they don't know.
Yeah, and Yeoman's just sitting there like not amused at all. It turns his back to her actually, and just is like,
yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I know you're Mistborn." He's like, "I'm not Mistborn."
Right. So we learned something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we learned he can use ATM, but he's not
Yeah.
Mistborn.
Yeah, so that's his medal. I mean, what a medal to be able to use.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he tells her that, it's time to make a decision about her execution. And they're joined by some other obligators. And Vin's like, I thought you were the judge and jury. Like, why are you bringing other people? I was like, and he's like, I thought maybe some delay would be good for you. I thought you'd enjoy this. Like, actually getting some time. He's doing the twirly mustache James Bond villain thing where
and he's like really delaying this whole thing. Look, first of all, I knew from Jump Street this guy has no intentions to execute her.
Yeah.
Second of all, I was like, he has no intentions of these other obligators doing anything of value.
Right.
I was like, this is all for show.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, just get.
But Vince
like
sees Vince
like
sees through it. Yeah, Vince sees through it eventually. I mean,
of course she does. I mean,
yeah.
And it was like that scene in, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Just get on with it.
Yeah, so they start having this little back and forth,
Yeah.
kind of almost philosophical conversation about the Lord Ruler. He wants to know about the Church of Survivor. And she goes on, makes the point, and says, well, if I did kill the Lord Ruler, that makes me the Lord Ruler. I'm his heir. I'm not the Kelsier's heir. I'm the Lord Ruler's heir. And he's just like, nope, the Lord Ruler's still alive. You're just you didn't kill him. I can't believe that you actually killed a god. Like, you didn't kill anybody. You just made this up. And I don't know why the Lord Ruler's doing this, but whatever his reason is, we'll figure it out.
It's like for all the young people out there that don't realize years ago, there were so many people that thought Elvis was still alive. That was a thing.
It was a thing.
Now, now you see that in 2024, people are like, what? But yeah, for like 30 years.
Tupac, man. Tupac was...
Okay, now Tupac's still alive. Okay, let's just... And the reason why people say that about Tupac is because, and for those that don't know, for years after this man died, they were putting out songs by Tupac. And people were like, okay, he's in the basement somewhere recording, right?
Yeah.
Elvis being alive is one that I just do not understand. But people, that was a huge thing for decades. Elvis sightings.
There's a lot of famous people that, Hitler, for example, like they thought for years that because they never found the body.
Right.
But yeah, there's that he ran to Argentina and all this. Yeah.
They basically did Osama bin Laden with Hitler, right? They didn't want anybody being able to go out.
Osama bin Laden, yeah, they threw him overboard.
Yeah, they were like, "There's no way you're going to go find that body."
Apparently, yeah. So they go back and forth, talk about the various religions and argue about everything. And they question faith about unseen gods and seen gods and blah blah blah. And it's a big philosophical debate.
Right.
And Yeoman asks her about her slaying the Lord Ruler, and she gives all the details about drawing the mist and everything like that. And Yeoman states that it's all ploy by the Lord Ruler. Yeah. And Vince's like, no, he's not coming back. So
right.
Yeah. And finally at the end, I guess she turns a statement against him, stating that she can't be tried for his murder if you think he's still alive. And she kind of does that. Says, hey, so what am I guilty of then? They also talk about negotiating, kind of like, what are you really here for? Not negotiating, but that's what Yeoman's trying to figure out. Like, you say it's for the cash, but like, that's not it. Why are you here? And finally she admits to ATM and he starts laughing and he's like, why? Like, it's worthless. Like, it makes sense when there's a bunch of Mistborn and the houses are powerful, but that doesn't exist anymore. Like, why do you need ATM? It's the same argument I often give to like some of my friends that like hoard gold and silver. I have friends that do that. And I ask them why. And they're like, well, if the world ever falls apart, I'll have gold and silver. And I always make the argument saying, if the world falls apart, nobody wants your gold and silver. They want food. Like,
right.
That's not going to feed
if
my
society
family.
was to collapse, Bitcoin would go down to a value of 0.
Gold would be worth nothing because who cares about gold at that point?
It's not like you're going to be able to make like the best, the world's best pot and pan out of gold or something.
I'm not going to trade you gold. Anything for
what
gold.
value does gold actually serve? If you really think about it, I will say, other than a conductor, gold is great.
And a radiation plate. You can do it to prevent radiation.
So there you go.
It has
some uses, but they're very niche uses, though.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if society was to collapse, gold is down at the bottom, right?
Gold's worthless.
It is extremely soft, and heavy. It's heavy and soft.
Soft.
Oh, that's a great combination.
Lead.
yeah. It's basically lead's cousin.
What? That's one of the arguments is, if the world ends and you want to collect metal, collect lead bullets. Like, I mean, if that's really what you want.
Yeah, especially since they can't degrade. I mean, that's basically the end of degradation is lead.
Yeah. Collect silver. What are you gonna do? Kill vampires? I don't know. Like, werewolves? I don't know what you're doing with silver. But anyway, yeah. Get some chickens. They'll be a lot more valuable when the
There
world
you
collapses.
go, chickens. Egg-laying chickens. There you go. Now
Yeah,
you're talking.
a lot more valuable when the world
Uh-huh.
collapses. So anyway, yeah, so turns it around on him, saying that, this is not real trial. So Vin reveals that and also talks about how to control Colossus. I guess that's, that might be the later chapter when to get to that, but
Yeah, I think we had a couple chapters so we get that.
that's a couple chapters later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it ends with the ATM conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This chapter does. Yeah. And he states, I'm just here trying to figure out what the Lord Rulers wants to do next. And Vince is kind of rolling her eyes like, dude, I killed the dude. He's dead. Like that must be one of those frustrating things in the entire world when you got someone that's like, I won't do it till XYZ gives me a command. It's like, he's dead. I don't believe you. This is going nowhere. You're delusional, and I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Well, anybody that's a member of a cult, and that's what he is. He's a cult leader.
Yeah.
And he buys into it, and he just will never face the truth until it's
Cult
like
personality.
Yeah. There's no way he's going to be like convinced or whatever. So you just got to let people just believe what they believe and just move on. Don't argue with them.
Yeah. Cool. I know I just kind of brushed through all the different philosophical, and I did it in a completely non-linear way. But any thoughts about any of the conversations that were had, or anything epiphanies, or anything eye-opening from it? No. Okay. Cool. Chapter 61. Guys, ready? All right.
Yeah.
I don't wonder that I don't wonder that we focused far too much on the mist during those days. But from what I know of sunlight and plant development, I realized that our crops weren't in much danger from the misty days that we feared. We might very well have been able to find plants to eat that did not need as much sunlight to survive. True, the mist did also cause some deaths in those who went out in them, but the number killed was not a large enough percentage of the population to be a threat to our survival as a species. The ash was our real problem. The smoke filling the atmosphere, the black flakes covering up everything beneath, the eruptions of the volcanic ash mounts. Those were what would have killed the world.
Now, I feel like in the last chapters we read, they talked about how ash was the thing that was the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I wasn't on that episode.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was talked about then, where they were like, oh, well, you could have made plants that would have been able to deal with all the other stuff. But the ash was the one thing that was like insurmountable.
Well, there's the bacteria that ate the ash, but then there was too much of it now.
Too much of it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's clogging everything.
So interesting. They keep coming back to the ash. They're like, the mists and all that other stuff is like whatever. But ash is like.
Ash is, yeah. Volcanic eruptions, like when many ice ages that happened, like when Krakatoa erupted, the big one.
Yep.
100 years ago, 200 years ago. It caused like a couple years of not like an ice age, but a definitely cooling effect. They think a lot of triggered ice ages or mini ice ages were due to volcanic eruptions, like big ones. Because when ash covers the sky and everything, temperatures drop a little bit. It's not good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really fertile, so it's good at the end. It just takes years to recover.
Right, you got to get past that
Yeah.
time that when it like penetrates the ground and everything
Yes.
like accommodates for it, because it's too much of a good thing at first. So it's got to like hit the ground and then get rained into the ground so that way it actually disperses. So there's actually minerals with the soil that's there. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole book, I haven't thought about like how bad ash can be until right now.
So right this second, just
Right now,
yeah,
just letting everybody know.
Ash can be bad. Yeah,
I know.
so it's just
Ask Pokemon, they know.
it's basically this world's turned to a giant ashtray. Yeah, if you've there's not much use of ash besides a good fertilizer because it's just spit carbon.
Right.
I mean, that's all it is. For the most part, at least wood ash is. I guess I don't know about volcanic ash. I guess I don't know what that composition is, but after a fire pit, it's just spit carbon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flammable anymore. It's spent. It's what's left.
Yeah.
But yeah, not good stuff. Especially a hot piece of ash.
I didn't see it, but I heard you say it. That was hilarious. Oh man.
Oh yeah. In this chapter, Ellen arrives at the camp with a group of Kolos. Ellen tells Hammond that Vin is still alive, and he's like, "How do you know that?" She's like, "1,000 over there. I don't control them. Vin does. And if she died, yeah, they would be going crazy right now." And Ham's like, "Thanks for telling me now." Like I could have known that information and been ready to protect ourselves if that does go crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me now.
Mm-hmm.
Hammond says that scouts from the Central Dominance say that Luthadel are in very bad shape right now. And that some of the cities around are being destroyed by earthquakes and lava. Good old lava.
Not good times.
Magma. Liquid hot
magma.
And let's remember now we're in the final countdown, by the way, because Ruin has said days, and then he specifically says not weeks.
Yeah,
days. So
yeah,
that means maybe over a week, but
maybe
you're not getting much further than that. So
yeah. So
hide your kids, hide your wife.
So you ever heard the theory about so the definition of lava is liquid rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a definition of a rock is a molecule that is uniform, that is in a solid state. So there's a theory that actually ice can be considered a rock since it is all one molecule in a solid state, and that water is actually lava.
This sounds like the cereal soup debate, man.
Cereal soup. Pretty much, yeah. It's the same type of debate. Is water is water lava?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's a hot dog. It's good questions. These are the important questions that keep me up at night. All right.
That's right.
It's a hot dog and sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
It's cereal soup. It is water lava.
And is water lava?
We need to drink lava to survive. So any thoughts about everything going to crap right now? I mean, it's bad, guys. It's real bad. Everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's days.
Yeah, in days.
Do you guys see a path out of this or have any predictions?
Oh no, I feel like it's that scene. Every time they would go to a commercial break at the end of the Dukes of Hazzard, and they're like, we don't know how you'll get out of that bucket of syrup. And it's like the General Lee is jumping over like a river. It looks like it's not going to make it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, how are we going to get out of this situation? But
yeah.
I'm waiting for the Sanderlance. So we're going to get to the end, and we're going to just give it's exposition on exposition and crazy thing on crazy thing. Everything will come together, and it'll be a kumbaya moment at the end.
Well,
we'll all be happy.
I think we're on the precipice of.
Oh, definitely, Sanderlance has got to be coming.
Yeah. Ellen also here orders Hammond to plan a surprise attack in the morning with the Koloss leading the way. So now that Ellen has this giant force of Koloss, he's like,
all right,
it's time to go. Let's go and attack. Even though it kind of he's beating himself up about it because of what crazy flappy preservation jumping up and down the spirit said or did say, but alluded to.
Yeah, and that thing about pointing to, I know you guys talked about it probably, because I only saw about half of the episode. But that the pointing at the metal, that was like, what? So the metal's the problem? And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of annoyed about how much I've been thinking about that.
It's keeping you up at night.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't mention it. We mentioned it before we started recording, but for everybody listening live, Londo, props to your amazing Scott Stank backgrounds.
Thank you. Yes, I'll keep swapping them out.
Yeah, that they are the stankiest.
So stanky.
So stink. Oh, it's a choice. It's very stank. All right. Anything else from this? That was another one of those short chapters. That was pretty much it. Plan the attack. Koloss. Vin's still alive.
Right.
Everything's going to crap. Yep.
Anything? Will, you got anything?
Nope.
All right. You said no?
No, I was just going to say just a lot of build up for the Sanderlance.
Yeah.
There's definitely build up chapters. But yeah. Chapter 62. I suspect that Alindi, the man Rashik killed, was himself a misting, a seeker. Allomancy, however, was a different thing in those days, and much more rare. The Allomancers alive in our day are descendants of the men who ate those first few beads of preservation's power. They formed the foundation of the nobility, and they were first to name him emperor. The power of these few beads was so concentrated that it could last through 10 centuries of breeding and inheritance. So this is something we kind of already knew, that it was a lot more, because Tenzin mentions this, I think, in the last book, that Mistborn were much more powerful back in the day. So
yeah, but that being very explicit, that 10 centuries means that you hit 1,000 years, you are at your weakest.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really important statement.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it comes up later about the 1,000 year thing. So,
yep. So we're in Saze's point of view. Spook is alive but unconscious. He's super badly burnt. He's like Deadpool at this point. Just like all
Deadpool. Oh, no. He's Wade Wilson. Oh,
Wade
no.
Wilson. He's recovering in, like, I guess what would you consider a hospital or medic clinic or whatever. And says it's watching over him. He keeps on trying to give Peter to Spook, but it's not speed up the healing, and he can't really figure out because he was convinced that Spook had been burning Pewter, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything.
But he's kind of relieved by it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, he's like, oh, okay, now my world is normal again.
Yeah.
Because he didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah. And Beldra's there as well. Apparently hasn't really left Spook's side that much.
Yeah, she's like more into him than she was into her brother being like damaged and everything.
Yeah. And she speaks about how Spook got her brother to act as he did in the past. And how what?
Because he took out the spike.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
I don't think any of them know this. This is something that Spook knows. Yeah.
Right. So what was y'all's discussion about the spike and why it was there in him in the first place? Because that's the part did I miss something about that?
Well, we know that Rune's been going around trying to spike everyone.
Well, right, because he admits to trying to spike Ellen,
yeah,
and other folks. So
He tried to
is
spec
that
Yeoman. He tried to spec Yeoman multiple times. That comes
right?
later.
Right.
But Yeoman was too, I guess, strong-willed for that. But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. I mean,
So
I think since Quillian was, a leader, everyone was just trying to spec anyone who was potentially a
okay,
leader.
got it. All right,
So, yep.
fair enough.
And Sazed then leaves to go review his last 10 religions in his portfolio, because he only has 10 left, and every one of them he doesn't believe in anymore. So he ends up spending the rest of the day reviewing and rejecting all last 10 of them.
Right.
They're all crap. Yep. And yeah, Sazed tries to ponder on, what are the commonalities in all the different religions, and do they all have shared inconsistencies or logical fallacies? And he's trying to go through that whole entire logical debate, where you can go on and, what's truth, what's not truth. There's entire thought experiments are philosophical debates you can get into on what makes truth and what doesn't make truth, and how do you define knowledge and truth. And we can go down that rabbit hole and talk like we're high people for a long time about it, but there's very smarter people than me about that have gone through different theories on that. I mean, going even back to Plato and Aristotle had thought experiments about that. But whether you define it with senses or do you define it with logic, because senses can just not be real, but logic has So I mean, a lot of them with enough time all break down. Even philosophical arguments, you can find holes in all of them. So nothing's real, nothing matters.
And he brings up that point about, well, how come like these miracles would happen back in the day in these texts, but like nothing happens now? He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's very cynical.
Yeah. I think he's asking a lot of questions that, a lot of people probably ask when they're in a dark place about religion. It's kind of like, why, I'm so woe is me right now. Like, why would I believe in anything? Because my life sucks.
Yeah. Right. If this is a good religion, why does it let babies die? It's that kind of stuff.
It's that kind of
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So he opens the journal that he and Tendril had compiled their notes in, and he finds the picture of the flower, Mare's flower, tucked within it.
Right.
Which jogs something. It's going back to the Hoover thing. The Grinch felt a little spark as his heart began to grow. Caesar feels betrayed because of his rational belief in the absence of God blocks him from having faith. And while all this is happening, while he's in this kind of existential crisis, he overhears Tensoon and Breeze talking, and prays silently to have something to have faith in. And Tensoon says goodbye to Breeze and goes to leave, and says something that gets Sazed really excited, or just brings him out of his stupor. It says, give the regards to the announcer. And Sazed's like, what'd you call me? So yeah, Sazed immediately flings up the door and comes back and says, wait, come. Why'd you call me that? He's like, well, I thought you would have known. Like, that's what we call the person who is supposed to be the first witness. He goes, no, that's not what we call it. We call it an announcer. And then we start diving into what exactly are the Khandra.
Right. That was a very loose connection to that whole conversation. I was like, you're trying to make the transitive properties that A equals B and B equals C, so A equals C, and it was trying to create this connection, but I was kind of getting a little lost listening to it. I was like, it's really loose. And then I didn't quite understand why, Tensoon saying, the announcer, why that triggered so much. Well,
Sazed had never heard that before, but I think it might have jogged his memory that maybe that's what he originally had read.
Right. But I really wish that, and again, maybe on a reread, I'd go back and find out that it was really clearly said, announcer here or something like that. But there wasn't enough of a trigger there for me to be like, oh, epiphany moment. It's Chekhov's gun. It's back. But no, it's like nothing triggered for me. And I was like, okay, I guess it meant something to you because you've read these thousands of different texts and everything. But I was like, cool story, bro.
Yeah, but then Sazed asked Tensu, he's like, well, how do you know the correct title? And he goes, well, all the Kandra know. It's our religion. And he's like, what religion? He goes, you don't know how the Kandra were founded? It's like, I figured with all your research and scholarly, like you knew this already.
Right.
He's like, no. He's like, what do you think happened to Rune's Pac-Man? And Jay's like, well, I assumed, since he tried to kill the Terracemen, he killed them all. And he's like, no, they're his best friends. Like, they're fellow Terracemen. No, he turned them into Kandra. Like, that's in the first generation.
Having allomantic powers and be Terracemen.
Right. Rather than having the possibility of that ever happening, he turned them into Kandra.
So that way they can live forever.
And
so the Pac-Men are the first generation, right? Did you say that?
Yeah.
The Rashik's fellow Pac-Men are the first generation. So they traded immortality for the ability to not have allomantic powers and things like that. That was the trade-off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a weird path to get there to tell the story, but
but it was told. Yeah, so what do you think about Kandra being Terracemen?
I feel like Terracemen, we're going to continue to have really important parts in this book or in all these books because it's like he wants to control the breeding and prevent the breeding and all that. And I'm like,
he was trying to breed out fair chemi because he didn't want Terracemen to accidentally get what he had, where he had both allomancy and
none of that really surprised me.
All it would take, I guess, is a fair chemist to breed with a nobleman, and you could possibly get someone that could take on the Lord Ruler.
Lord Ruler 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and both of them were very inclusive societies, so obviously that didn't happen naturally, and none of them put two and two together. But he was very controlling of the breeding of the Terracemen for that very reason.
Right.
Let's see. I lost my place in my notes. I didn't want to both be elementary fair chemists. Tinsun reveals that the Pac-Men were then changed into mist wraiths and then Kandra, and they were known as the first generation. And then this is when Sazed realizes that they know the lost Terrace religion that still lives on, and he's like, "Well, I got to go meet them now. Like, take me to your leaders. I have to know the true religion that I don't know, that I've been searching for all these years."
And they're going to open the doors wide open.
Oh, sure.
The moment that they show up, especially with Tinsun, I mean, they're going to just roll the red carpet out for them. So that'll be just like
I'm sure
super easy, barely an inconvenience. They just like waltz right in. They're just going to tell them everything.
Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, so Sage is like, well, I'll go in there and convince them that the end's near, so they'll join our side. And Tin's like, all right, your funeral.
Good luck.
Good luck. So, I think there's good foreshadowing how that's going to go. Mm-hmm. A lead balloon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Any other thoughts from this chapter?
Well, I liked it because this was Sazed coming back around. He's like starting to find, his religion again. So this is my favorite chapter for sure.
Sazed is starting to have hope.
Yeah. I didn't do it, Alondo. He did it.
Oh man! And then the last set of chapters, it said hope a few times. I was like, oh, good Lord. Here we go. Here we go. Hope.
63. What's the right. You don't like hope? You don't like the concept of hope?
Hope is for suckers.
I think I have it somewhere.
I should write that book. Hope is for suckers.
There is a business book. It's right here. I got it. Hold on. Here it is. Hope is not a strategy.
There you go. See, thank you.
It's an entire book I have. It's actually a really good business book. It's about sales, but yeah, hoping that your sale happens.
Oh yeah, that whole thing about
strategy.
positive thinking and stuff. I'm like, oh, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, hope is not a strategy.
Hard work is a strategy.
Yeah, hope is not.
Hope is for lazy people.
Anyway, 63. Ruin tried many times to get spikes into the members of the crew. Though some of what happened makes it seem like it was easy for him to gain control of people, it really was not. Sticking the metal in just the right place at the right time was incredibly difficult. Even for a subtle creature like Ruin, for instance, he tried very hard to spike both Ellen and Yeoman. Ellen managed to avoid it each time, as he did on the field outside the small village that contained the next to last storage cache. Ruin did actually manage to get a spike into Yeoman once. Yeoman, however, removed the spike before Roman could get a firm grip on him. It was much easier for Ruin to get a hold of people who are passionate and impulsive than it was to get a hold of people who are logical and prone to working through their actions in their minds. So
that's one of those ones I would want to go back and reread those chapters where they're approaching that cache to see when that actual.
There was the Inquisitor they fought. They fought that Inquisitor outside.
Yeah, but it's like I want to read the part where he was trying to actually spike him because I don't remember exactly how.
So it mentions it that when they're fighting, instead of having obsidian accents, he had spikes, and they couldn't figure out why this guy was fighting with spikes.
Yeah, so
it was mentioned. Yeah,
so I'm curious to read it again. I mean, and I feel like a lot of these books are really prime for a good reread. So.
Oh yeah. There's lots of little clues sprinkled throughout.
Right.
And it's one of those things. I mean, I think he had written all three of these before he even released the first one. So it's he was able to go back and retcon or figure things out before it was actually
the continuity straightened out. Sure. Yeah. Cool.
Yep. So we're back in Vin's point of view. Ruin's gloating to Vin about his pending victory, and Vin's just listening to him ramble. He's rambling on. And meanwhile, just kind of listening, trying to figure out clues on how to defeat him.
Yeah, he's basically the Emperor from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just sitting there, just like monologuing to Luke Skywalker the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
This is my plan. Get you against your sister.
This is exactly how I'm going to kill you and to take over the entire galaxy. I'm going to plot it all out for you.
Yep.
And tell you everything.
Strike me down and make me more powerful.
What is it? Unlimited power?
Unlimited power!
Yeah, Vin calls her guards to tell them she wants to make a deal with Yeoman. And that she has information for the obligator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeoman seems tired, and Vin realizes that he actually is not Mistborn, but rather an ATM Misty. This is where she puts it together, even though it's very strongly hinted before this chapter.
Right.
She tells Yeoman to ask her any question, and he asks, "How does Ellen control the Colossus?" And she's like, "Allomancy, emotional allomancy. You guys aren't strong enough to do it. You need Duralum." And he's like, "Bull crap. It's not a real thing." He's like, "No, it really is. You're familiar with aluminum? Yeah. Well, Duralum's the opposite. It gives us strength."
Right.
Which Yeoman's very skeptical about. Yeoman states that Vin is part of the Lord Ruler's plans, and she has to play along. Stating that the Lord Ruler wanted Vin to meet Yeoman and hunt for the storage caches. He must have planned all this. This must be on purpose. This is all part of the Lord Ruler's plan. And she's like, "I can show you where all the caches are." And brings in a map, starts doing her little drawings on there, and then puts two and two together. Why would they have these random places? And starts thinking about it. It's like they just seem kind of randomly spread out. And then she figures it out. She's like, they're near metal mines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Ruben can't see them. Yeah, large mineral deposits. Yeah, and she realizes that Ruin's been using her and Ellen the entire time, so they can find out where all the caches are. And Vin also realizes that Ruin's also looking for the ATM, but she can't figure out why.
None of us knows why.
Okay, I was going to ask you. You guys know why?
I thought Will had the answer. Will, tell us why. Why is I had no idea. Why is he looking for ATM?
I don't know. I was going to ask why Ruin can't see the mines.
Well, he can't. I know he can't manipulate anything written in metal. I think metal is one thing that he can't.
He can't. Yeah, metal's like a preventative to him.
For him.
So it's like metal is like his
kryptonite
medium. He can't work within or around.
Yeah, it blinds him.
Which, oddly enough, I don't get, because if he's weak to metal, then why did preservation say metal's the problem when it was interacting with Ellen? And I was like, none of that is
Good
none of that's meshing in my head. So right now I'm a little confused. So
good.
Nice. Good. Nice.
Do it. Yeah. So for some reason, Ruin really wants the ATM.
Yeah.
And as soon as Yeoman says, "Well, I have the whole entire ATM cache," Marsh bursts through the door.
Oh, here goes.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I love it.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
You said burst through the door. I was like, here comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, smiles at Vin and bows to Ruin, which Vin realizes that he can see Ruin too. And immediately turns to Yeoman and says, "Attack's imminent. There's a bunch of Koloss coming." And
of course, we got our first hint that some other people could see Ruin when
Quillian
saw Kelsier.
Yeah,
it was like begging Kelsier. Is like, well, why are you forsaking me?
Yeah, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. And Yeoman's like, "Well, thank God you're here, because I guess you're here to protect us." And Marsh's like, "I ain't here to protect you. I care less about you."
He's like, "You?"
He's like, "But the Lord Ruler sent you. I'm his faithful servant." He's like, "The Lord Ruler's dead, dude."
Dead. All I can think of is that Batman slapping Robin meme. He's like, just smack. He's like, he's dead.
He's dead.
Hush up.
He's like, "I'm here just for the ATM. You said you had it. Where is it?" And he's like,
"Where is it?
I don't have it. I have 7 beads. That's it."
I was lying the whole time.
And immediately Ruin starts to scream like a little toddler having a tantrum.
Oh my gosh, that was funny though.
Super frustration, and Marsh gets super upset.
Oh yeah.
It's everything's falling apart right here. This is definitely Yeoman pleads for Marsh to help all, and he's like, "No."
He's like, "I couldn't care less about these Koloss coming and wiping you out."
Yeah, I can care less about that. Let them kill you. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, "You're an unprofitable servant," I think is the quote he uses.
Unprofitable servant. Man, that's harsh. The more I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Vin starts to try to convince Yeoman. He's like, Vin's like, Ellen will attack if you offer alliance. now that he said, now that Marsh had, has confirmed Lord Ruler's dead, he's not going to help you. If you just get off your podium and make some kind of alliance, we can stop all this.
Yep.
Yeah, but Marsh scoffs. That Ellen would attack to save Vin. And Vin says he's a better man than that. He's like, yeah, you don't know much about your man. He's definitely going to still attack. It's
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Interesting cliffhanger.
It's an interesting cliffhanger.
Because she's like, no, he's better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, he ain't.
Yeah. So Rude's really pissed about this ATM thing. So why?
I mean, first of all, where is the ATM?
Yeah. That's a good question.
That's question number one. Is, where is the ATM? Because every other cache they've checked has got stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It had stuff.
Yeah.
And they had to kind of go in order. It's even mentioned in these chapters about how they had to go in a particular order.
Yep.
Because one refers to the next. Then they get here and it's not there. So either this is like that Harry Potter joint where they went looking for the locket and someone else had already gotten the locket, or it's there and they haven't found it yet.
Okay.
Or it was a lie the whole time, which doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Why would the Lord Ruler make it up? I mean,
no, the ATM exists. Ellen's family mined it, and
right. So it's like,
Kelsey mined it. He was down there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been seeing evidences mining of ATM since the very beginning of book 1.
Yeah. So where is it? And why does Ren want it? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Go. In due time.
I mean, the only thing I could think of that Ruin would want it for is to keep it out of the hands of his enemy. But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, then he would want all of it, every single bead of it. And that's not really what I see happening.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm hoping that Will's going to have like some insight, kind of like he does at other times, where he like has these epiphanies and puts us all on the straight track. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait. What are you doing? Are you hoping that Will has some
I didn't say hope. If I did say hope, I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it.
Yeah. It sounded kind of like hope, but no, I don't know. Maybe is it like a preventative thing? He just wants to get there to make them not get it, because that's the only thing they could use to defeat him. But
right.
I don't know, man. These are some serious builders. I'm really looking forward to the next chapters because I know it's about to get wild. But
yeah, and I feel like we're building up. I feel like we're getting more questions asked in the last couple chapters now.
Yeah,
like all of a sudden, yes, it is about to go down.
It's about to go down.
And so I feel like we're getting all this build up, and I feel like it's going to be like a really crazy Sanderlance on this one.
Yeah,
because it's also the end of the trilogy, and I'm like, there's a lot of threads to wrap up right here. So,
yeah, I mean, we have 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
So we're coming. 3 weeks
left.
Yeah,
so I think a bunch of stuff is getting ready to go down. I think it's going to be jam-packed the next 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and is our last episode of the book at the con?
At Jordan Con, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. This is this is hard, by the way, reading the book, with you guys, where I can't. It's like when I would read like a Harry Potter book or read like Game of Thrones books or something like that. You would get to that like last like 10 chapters, and I would stay up all night, read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I have to know. I have to know right now. I cannot wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
The only thing about this is I have to.
Well, wait. You can read some tomorrow if you want.
Nah.
But only so much.
Well, I need it to be fresh in my mind, right? I need to be fresh in my copper minds.
The question is just curious. What book are you going to do next? We are doing Elantris next.
Oh, I thought we were doing Animal Farm. Darn it.
Yeah. I think actually in our Discord, I think I have it posted or pinned somewhere. Yeah, I have the reading order pinned. So it's next is Elantris, then Hope for Elantris, then Emperor Soul. And then we do The Way of King.
I think I've been buying the books in the wrong order. I still have like extra credits because I keep accruing credits every month.
Well, no, 2 of those are in Arcadium Unbound. So you should already have that.
Okay.
Arcadium Unbound.
Where's my Cosmere? Oh, my Cosmere. There it is. So I got Final Empire, Will of Ascension, Hero of Ages, Alloy of Law, Arcadium Unbounded.
Yeah, Alloy of Law we're not doing for a long time.
Oh. Well, what's the next book after?
The Way of Kings.
Oh, why don't I have that one?
That's after Elantris and the short stories. They're doing this honky, giant, 1,000-page book.
Got it. Way of Kings is next. All right. Well,
next is Elantris. We're doing Elantris next. Elantris.
Oh wait, I don't even have that one.
Yeah, Elantris is one we're doing.
Messed that up.
Yep. So we already did the 11th Metal. We did that one between book 1 and book 2. Yeah, we did the 11th Metal already. And Secret History we will not do until between the 3rd and 4th book of Era 2.
Oh no, I did get the books. I just didn't put them in my collection. I have like a whole Cosmere collection that I've created, and I just didn't add it to the collection because it says right there. It's like view in library. I'm like, oh well, then I already got it. So
yeah,
okay.
So yeah, but they've already done the 11th Metal. That's already been done. That was a little short story we did. If you guys remember with Kelsier, yeah,
with the trainer.
Yeah, the trainer. Secret History we will not do until we get to Era 2, which is we're doing after Stormlight. So a long time.
Holy cow. Okay, so the books I have that I downloaded with my credits, I got The Way of Kings, Elantris, The Lost Metal, Bands of Mourning, Shadows of Self,
Alloy of Law,
Arcadium Unbounded.
So you have Era 2, you have Elantris, and you have The Way of Kings. So we're going to be
so I've got them all. I just haven't.
There's some more Stormlight books you don't have yet, but yeah.
Right. So again every month I'm getting I get another credit.
It will be a long time before we get through. I mean, those are long books, so we'll get there.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Of course, what I could do is I could go ahead and read those books now, be excited about them, enjoy them, and completely forget everything about them by the time we actually reach those books, right?
Let's see. I love Elantris. It's his first book. It's clunky at small moments, but it's so clever. Yeah, Elantris is one. I didn't enjoy it the first time reading it, but now that I've read more Cosmere and I've reread it, I do enjoy it. So,
well, let me tell you my thoughts. It's a book.
It's a book.
It's
a standalone book for now, but he's already announced he's going to write more. So there'll be more to Elantris saga, but it is what it is. So with that being said, anything from these chapters before we do favorite character? All right. So favorite character and why is it Breeze? Go.
Go, Will, go.
My dear man, Breeze.
Not Breeze.
Not Breeze.
Not Breeze for you. Okay.
It's the question I ask to everyone all the time. Like, and who's your favorite character and why is it? So Brandon Sanderson did like a live TikTok like a while back. It was like his first one he ever did, and I happened to pop in while he was live, and he didn't answer my question. But the one question I asked is like, who was your favorite character to write, and why was it Breeze?
Nice.
So I did ask Brandon Sanderson one time on TikTok. He did not answer me, but
I'm gonna go with the soldier that tried to keep Tensoon Dog out of the ministry building.
That's right. Because he was scared or freaked out about it the first time, but then when he started talking the second time, he was more acclimated. So he kind of had like a little swagger when he responded to him. When the other guys were like, "Well, what?" He was like,
Speaking of reacting to the dog, I love Breeze's reaction to it. Not to go talk about Breeze more, but like when he's like, it's like, after you, my dear man. I guess I should say, my dear doggy.
My dear
With your doggy.
doggy.
Dear doggy. Good old Breeze.
I'm gonna go with the what's the sister's name? Belcher?
Beldra?
Belger.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna go with her. I mean, he kept coming at her talking about she's a bodyguard and she's this and that. And yeah, she has powers, and yes, she was able to, disable Spook, basically throwing, coins through his arm and everything. I get all that. But you could tell she was a very reluctant soldier.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't really good at like using her powers.
Right.
And then she you could just tell she just has this like crazy remorse.
Right.
But she was just trying to save her brother. It was at the end of the day, she wasn't like the guards and stuff. She was like, she didn't even look back because she was like, yeah, I disabled him, whatever. I don't know if I killed him or not. She was like, I just was trying to just get to the point where I could save my brother. So I feel for her. I'm curious to see what happens out of that. I think she's like that whole thing when it was said, oh yeah, she was sent to the camp to assassinate you. I wasn't buying that. I'm not buying it yet. I think that was it was a misdirect.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with her for now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll pick Breeze.
We're so shocked.
So shocked.
You could knock me over with a feather.
Next time we'll be doing 7 chapters. Give you guys some nice reading.
Wow.
7 chapters. So
First thing I
chapters,
learned how to count that high.
through chapter 70. Through chapter 70. 7 chapters. We gotta get in this book. I can't just gotta get you guys moving. And plus they're short chapters. So
I assume they must be. If you said 7 chapters, I'm like, they must be really short.
yeah, I think it's actually let's look at word count. These 7 chapters are actually shorter than these 5 that we read tonight. So
one of the chapters just has like one sentence, Jesus wept, and you just move on to the next chapter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or the one chapter in Words of Radiance. Let me see. I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler for Words of Radiance. Hold on. I think everyone in chat knows what I'm about to say. Words of Radiance. See if we can find it. There it is. Good old. Nope. People are talking about it, but I'm trying to find the actual numbers. Someone's going to find it before I do. Okay, so here's one of the. This is how one of the chapters begins in Wars Radio. A little spoiler for you, and I love it on the audiobook. You ready? 111825510127124915121011111410215. It does that for about 15 minutes.
Oh, so basically it's the code that Bender reads out off of his butt in order to go back in time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Insider Futurama reference there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that come out to 1/16th?
It does come out to 116.
Of course it does.
So people
of course
tried
it does,
to,
Will.
And
I couldn't give 2 craps about it. By the way, we're no closer to figuring that thing out.
Yeah.
Someone just said time travel butt tattoo.
Time travel butt tattoo. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Somebody got so somebody's got the reference. Hey. All right.
Great episode.
Anything with Bender is automatically awesome.
Yeah.
I've got this Avatar shirt is Bender, and like one is like him like farting is Airbender. The one where he's like drinking beer and it's like Waterbender.
Nice.
And then of course there's the one where he's like burping out fire is Firebender.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So anything else before we finish up? All right.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Alan's birthday.
Yeah, man, I gotta check it. Yeah, I gotta check it for this 200th episode.
The Will Reads.
Yeah,
200
excited about that.
episodes. Yeah. How we can be found is at thecosmereads.com. It's a website where you can find all sorts of cool stuff like links to Discord, Patreon, merchandise, all that fun stuff. We got to come up with more t-shirt designs too. I need to get someone on drawing stuff or if you guys want to draw some stuff. Or
dude, I'm telling you, this AI thing, I'm all about it.
We had to give some love to artists though.
I know, but I love it. The fact that it's like I can tell the AI to just like make something, and it's like, I got you, fam.
Yeah,
every time. But yes, you're right. We got to support our artists out there. You're absolutely right. Especially since AI is basically stealing from artists. And it's using their art to come up with the concepts that it does. So
yep, exactly. Yep. So yeah, go check out the website. Find links to all sorts of cool stuff. Write reviews, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Feed the algorithm gods, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this week. So, bye. Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
Gosh thanks, gosh, fresh. Gosh thanks, gosh, they fresh.